Yo, my name is H Mayham, aka Me Mugabe, and if I love wrestling, you love wrestling, then we love wrestling. Let's get it.
You're not here, you missing out. Is this show?
Welcome to the We Love Wrestling Spot. Terry, I'm with Nicole from Down for the Count and Jinx from the Pretty Hills. Today, we have an actor. We have a wrestler. We have someone that if you don't know him, you will know him. Look at him showing the guns. He's even a personal fitness coach. His name is Ace Mayham. How are you doing today, sir?
I feel great today. And yourself, brother?
I'm doing good. How the ladies feeling though?
I'm great down here. How are you, Nicole?
I'm doing good over here in the cold state.
Well, I'm enjoying the sunshine.
I'm in a cold state.
Warm weather from down here.
Right. We will give y'all some of this Miami weather.
Oh, that's what y'all doing? Oh, okay.
Don't give me too much to air, because y'all got different variants of Rona down there in Florida.
Right. That part.
Ace, so let's start this off, Ace. I'm gonna ask you my first question that I always ask is, why do you love wrestling, or what started your love for wrestling?
Oh, wow. Okay. Now, what started my love for wrestling is back in 1987. Yes.
Taking it back.
I was 4 years old, 1987. And growing up in the Bronx, I was at my godmother's house. This is before we had cable. We only had the basic channels. We had channel 2, 4, 5, I think 11, and PBS. Those are the only channels we had. And wrestling used to come on every Saturday at noon. Back then it was WWF Superstars. That used to come on at noon on Saturdays after the Saturday morning cartoons, all of that. So I remember when I was a kid, I remember flipping through the channels. I was 4 years old, and I got the remote, and I was just pushing buttons, and it landed on wrestling. And I remember the first wrestlers that I saw was Demolition, Axe and Smack. And I remember them coming to the ring. They had these black masks on, these helmets, and then they came to the ring, and then they took off their mask, and they had face paint on, and they stuck their tongues out, and it was red, and I was a little kid, and I'm watching this, and I'm like, oh, this is the coolest thing I've ever seen. Like, what's going on here? And then they went in and they just beat these guys up and left the ring, and I was like, oh, okay, let me continue watching this. Let me see what's. Then I saw the Macho Man Randy Savage. He was a colorful character, and he was cutting promo, and he was so intense with it, and he was so animated, and he was just like a larger than life cartoon character. And as a little kid, I was drawn to that, and I was hooked ever since then. And I followed wrestling ever since then. Then I started to discover the other wrestlers like Hulk Hogan and the Ultimate Warrior, and Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, and on and on and on. And I just started loving wrestling since then. And I would probably say, I've been a big fan. And by the time I was about 7, 8 years old, I kind of caught on that it was entertainment. And I was just like, oh, how did they do that? It wasn't like, oh, it's fake, I don't love it anymore. You know what I'm saying? No, I was like, why? I actually became more interested in knowing, how do they do that? How do they put that together? How do they put those matches together? How are these guys able to sell this and sell that? And it just became very interesting to me. And me being an actor and being drawn to the arts, I saw this mystique with wrestling where it was like the perfect marriage of theater and sport together, because I've always been an athlete. My background is basketball and football. I also did karate as a kid and track and all that. So I was always very athletic. But, wrestling was that platform where you were able to take all of those skills that you have in sports and all the skills you had in acting, you're able to, marry them together and present something different to the world and tell a story. And that's what my infatuation with wrestling came in. It came in with being able to tell a story. And I've been drawn to it ever since. And I love it. I never thought that I would become a professional wrestler. It was a childhood dream of mine, but I had other dreams. There's other things I wanted to do. And then I discovered basketball and football and all those sports. And basketball became my main passion. That's what I love, especially growing up in New York City. I played basketball in high school and went to college. And then, coming down to Florida, after I was done with college, I had an agent. I went to acting school, and I started, doing background work for, different TV shows and movies out here. I remember I was in my apartment one day, and I was watching Monday Night Raw, and I saw Chris Jericho on Monday Night Raw, and I was looking at that like, the light bulb went on. Ding! Why don't I do that? I wanted to do it as a kid. Like, what stopped me from doing that? Why? Like, oh, okay. Look into that. The crazy thing about it is that the moment I thought about pursuing wrestling, something about the universe kind of switched, it kind of changed into my favor. You put some energy out there, you start getting things. I started meeting wrestlers. I started meeting them at the airport. I started meeting them at the club because I used to be a club bouncer. And they would tell me things. They was like, oh, yeah. I met the Big Show at the airport, and he would tell me, yeah, there's a school out in Tampa where, you can go learn how to wrestle. I never knew about wrestling school. I didn't know, there was an actual school for this stuff. And so he was like, yeah, there's a school out in Tampa where you can go learn how to wrestle, and WWE looks for their talent over there and all this stuff. And I was like, wow, that's cool. And he said, you know what? I'll tell somebody about you. What's your name? I said, Jack. I didn't think he was going to do that. But FCW had a show at the Miami-Dade Fair, which they used to do over at FIU at the fairground over there. And I went to that show, and that's when I got a chance to meet Steve Kern, and I met Norman Smiley, and they were the head trainers at FCW, which is now NXT now. That's WWE developmental, and I remember seeing like Richie Steamboat, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat's son when he was in developmental, and Jinder Mahal at the time, who was in developmental, and I was watching these matches, and Justin Gabriel and those guys. And I remember I was like, oh, this is interesting. I haven't watched a live wrestling show in years. I used to go to all the house shows at Madison Square Garden when I was a kid. I still remember to this day, getting the opportunity to meet Bret the Hitman Hart when I was like 9 years old. And that was a pretty cool experience. And, going back to the FCW show, it brought back the memories I had of wrestling as a kid and being there in person and actually watching it and being drawn to it. And I was telling myself, wow, I'm going to get involved in this. I think I could be good at it. So I remember having a conversation with Steve Kern, and, he was telling me, come out to the school, we'll train you and teach you the craft and teach you about the business. And that's how it started. Later on that year, this is 2012, in June 2012 is when I started going back and forth between Miami and Tampa, and I was training at FCW, and that's when my wrestling career kind of took off from there.
Gotta ask you this since you said it. I think I heard you say it, so I'm gonna ask something different that I usually ask a different question. But for you, I want to know: Demolition or the Road Warriors?
Wow. For me, I have to say Demolition. That was the first tag team I fell in love with. The thing was, I watched when I was a kid, I watched WWF and I watched WCW. I wasn't so much into NWA and AWA and other promotions that they had. I only had access to watching WWF and WCW. And then yeah, Demolition was that tag. Now the Road Warriors, when they came into WWF as Legion of Doom, I think around 91, 1990, 1991. That was a cool gimmick. I thought it was dope, you know, them having the shoulder pads, the spikes and all of that. But I think Demolition, they were the pioneers. They were pioneers of the face paint and all of that stuff. And you know, them being 3-time WWF Tag Team Champions, they were the tag team that kind of set it off for a tag team, in my opinion. Now I could be wrong.
Okay. Okay, I was gonna say, yo, Ace, chill.
There's people, yeah, because there's people who've been watching before me and they've been watching other types of wrestling. You know what I'm saying? But I'm going based off of what I saw as a kid and what drew me to it.
Man.
As a matter of fact, hold up.
Before Jinx, I'm gonna kick it to you, Nat or Nicole, one of y'all. But Ace, I'm gonna let you. Oh, get out of here with me. Man, come on, man. I feel you. So my first event that I went to was Starrcade '89. I did watch WWF. My first memory of wrestling though is the Road Warriors versus the Midnight Express in a scalpel match, and knocking Jim Cornette off that scalpel and everything. So when you said Demolition, the Innovators, you know, I'm glad you said for you, because I was ready to go in with you on some other stuff. But I respect it though, because it's in your head. You know, I respect that, and they're not a bad team to go with if you're gonna pick someone. But I'm gonna kick it over to Jinx, Ashley, the Pretty Heel. Let her get some of these questions in.
Government?
Not her shoot name.
Yeah, we shoot now. I mean, they already know. Yeah.
I don't think Ace knew my first name.
I didn't know her first name until like
exactly.
2 weeks ago.
Look, just put it out into the world.
I don't like knowing people's names. Half the
y'all,
time anyways.
Y'all don't watch the spotlights because I done said it on the spotlight before.
A few times.
I don't like to know people's real names though.
Oh God, you just calling out. Oh, okay. First of all, thank you for finally showing up.
Don't do that, Jinx.
You know I had to do them. No, but I'm just teasing though.
I'll take that.
I'm just teasing. I know you're busy. Been seeing what you have going on. So I know there's some things that's getting ready to happen. Well, happening here for you down here within Few. Do you care to elaborate on your tag partner and how that come about and the whole concept?
Yeah, so what had happened was
whoa. Before you go into your tag partner, let's talk about your character, and then we'll talk about your tag.
You're right. Let's backtrack. Let's talk about Ace, because I was gonna backtrack to that. Let's finish with Ace.
Yeah, let's start with Ace.
Okay, so Ace Mayhem. How did you develop that character, and how did you decide to choose the name Ace Mayhem?
Now, the name Ace Mayhem came from a couple of inspirations. I don't know if one of my favorite movies is Paid in Full.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And this dude used to always say I look like Wood Harris from Paid in Full. He used to always call me Ace. He said, you look like a drug dealer from Paid in Full. He used to always call me Ace.
That's so funny, because now that you said it is a slight resemblance.
Yeah, that is. Yeah.
Yeah. And the mayhem came from me being in the gym. I used to always go especially on a leg day, I would put 10 plates on the leg press. I would have weights all
Oh,
over
you
the
was
place.
wilding on leg day.
Yeah, I'm solid. And this dude's always, oh, you always causing all this mayhem in the gym. You always, and he used to always call me Mayhem. He's like, oh, that's Mayhem over there. And it stuck with me.
It makes sense.
Yeah, when I had put it, I was like, Ace Mayhem. And it stuck with me. And everybody, people started calling me that, you know, and that's the name that I came up with when I was at FCW, when I was training out there, and before I had my first match, you know, and that they was like, "Oh, you got a name?" And I didn't even have a name at first, and I was thinking about what this guy called me and what the other guy called
Just
me.
put it together on the spot.
Ace Mayhem. And he was like, "I like that. All right," and put him on the card, and that was it, you know. And that's how Ace Mayhem was born. You know, it was a persona that came up from two people that used to. One said I look like this guy from the movies. The other one said I used to cause a bunch of mayhem in the gym whenever I go and leave the weights all over the place. And that's how Ace came about.
Well, Lou, you at least put the weights back now.
I put them back now. I put them because I realized not everybody's going for the 45-pound plates, you know, but I do want to leave some for people in case they decide they want to go heavy.
Okay, so Ace got his start in FCW, and you just mentioned your first match. Who was your first match with, and how would you describe? How did you feel about it?
My first match was against a wrestler by the name of Tyler G. He's from the Midwest somewhere, I do believe. I'm not sure. I don't want to be wrong on which one. He's from the Midwest. Big dude. He was a pro bodybuilder. I mean, this guy was put together. He looked like a shorter version of Batista in his prime. You know, real big guy, pretty athletic. And the match was, you know, I've only been training for a couple of weeks before they decided to throw me out there. And I was still green. I was still learning, you know. But they was like, yo, you have a look. And you have athletic ability, and you're catching on quick. So we're gonna put you out there. You know, see, get a feel for this. This is the start for you. You know, go out there and do what you got to do. And so they you know, at the time I didn't have my own music or anything, and it was like, yo, what's your favorite wrestler's theme music? It's WWE, so they can use WWE music. You know. So they let me walk out the MVP theme song because
Yes.
I love that. I love that. You know that theme. I'm coming. You know, when I used to come on, I used to go hype. You know, when I hear the MVP song. And so I remember, I just got a pair of boots and I got a pair of tights. But they sent me the wrong size. And they were long tights. My tights were too big, and it had no drawstring on it. So I remember when I came out, it was a crazy feeling because I remember watching the FCW shows on TV. They used to come on the Bright House network, and you can find them on YouTube. They probably still have them up there. Maybe they do. But I remember coming out the curtain and walking up to the ring, and I just felt a huge drag by my butt. And in the back of my mind, I was like, "Oh, it's gonna be one of those days, man. My pants won't stay up." But I was hyped, you know, like because I'm coming out and I'm stepping into a WWE ring, like. Not that many people can say that their first match ever was in a WWE ring. That was such an experience in itself. You know, being able to go into that ring and perform for the camera. And then on top of that, Paige did the commentary for my first match. So I remember being backstage with Paige and talking with her. And, you know, she asked me questions about, you know, my career and what I do and all that. And she was so cool. Shout out to Paige. I love Paige. She's an awesome personality. and I can see the commentators in the corner talking, and I can see, you know, the fans over here, and then I grabbed the mic and I just cut a promo, and I was so nervous. And it's because it was a combination of me being nervous and excited all in one, and I just went off the top and just let it fly. And it's like I watch to this day when I watch the promo, it's like my stomach just goes like. But everybody else who watched it was like, "Yo, you did good." Nobody knew that that was my first match. You know, people was like, "Oh, you look like you've been doing that for a while." I was like, "Man, look, I knew a little bit about what I was doing, but I had no clue." Yeah, at the same time, it's like I was really green, but I knew that as a performer, I can bring something to the table. I can bring an excitement to the table. I can bring a presence that people can look at and be attracted to and love and buy into. So that's what I brought with me on my first match, and it was cool. It was exciting. It was fun. Uh, Nobody got hurt. You know, it was off the chain.
That's what's up.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna kick it to Nicole, and then we're gonna backtrack to the beginning, and then we're gonna do some more stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So Nicole.
All right, hello. Sorry, adjusting a little bit. So I was glad you talked a little bit about wrestling being similar to theater because I make that comparison quite often when I talk about pro wrestling to my friends who don't necessarily get it. I compare it to live theater. I compare it to another more controversial. I compare it to drag because it's just showmanship and being flashy. So it's two and the same things to me. So what about you going to acting school and being within that industry sets you apart from others within the wrestling industry, in your opinion?
I think that what sets me apart is having that acting training and that theater training. Because to be honest with you, most wrestlers are not good actors.
Oh, hell
And
no.
people
Horrible.
people think people think that they're the same thing. No, they involve the same type of skills, but they're not the same thing. Acting for television is different than acting for a movie and different than acting for theater. They're all two different things. Because when you're doing movie scenes, everything is done within a frame. There's marks. You can't really move around. It's more about telling the stories with your eyes instead of expression. In theater, it's more so of you acting with expression and movements because and projecting because there's a crowd sitting there and you're on stage.
Mm-hmm.
Television is kind of similar to acting in a movie, except that you're able to move around a little bit more on the set because the camera follows you. Not so much in movies. Most of the movies is like, you know, the camera's there and then they cut, stuff like that. Now, with wrestling, wrestling is staged combat. So it's more so of you being able to sell moves with your, you know, with your face and with your body and with your movements and making them believe that you're hurt. So when you take the skills that you learn from acting and theater and television and you put it with the physical uh, part of wrestling and being able to sell with your body and being able to do different moves and, you know, be athletic, I think that that's an advantage because there's wrestlers who don't have that. They're great sellers in the ring and they're great technical wrestlers, but they don't have the theater, television, and, you know, movie acting skills to go along with that. I think that's something that I can bring to the table because when I'm doing a vignette or a promo or something like that, I can tap into the lessons I've learned from acting school when I was acting for theater and television. I can bring that and make it look authentic and make it not look forced. It seems like with wrestling now, if you look at the way wrestlers or acting in front of the camera. Everything is kind of rushed, and they're always trying to remember, oh, what did they write for me? You know, it just looks really, how can I say it? It looks extra staged instead of being emotional. You don't get the emotion that you get when you watch a movie. It seems more like a soap opera than a movie.
Right.
Back in the days, in the 80s, the 90s, when you watch wrestlers and they cut promos, they drew you in. And I think that's because the writers, and they gave them the space to be themselves. So they were able to look in the camera and you can feel the intensity. And you're like, you know what, I don't want to mess with that dude. Nowadays, it's like they're talking at you and not to you. You get what I'm saying? So I think that me having the acting background is definitely an advantage, that I have over other wrestlers who just focus on wrestling and doing all these moves and jumping around the ring and all that stuff. Because, when I come out, I make my presence known. I walk around the ring, I make eye contact with people, I make people feel that. And I think that's something that's missing in wrestling. And me having the acting background, I know I can tell a story with my eyes. So that's the advantage I have over the other wrestlers, in my opinion.
I love that.
Yeah.
And again, thank you so much for implementing that within your character, because I believe storytelling within a ring is unfortunately starting becoming a little bit of a dying art. Like, I feel like the manager is sort of becoming one. So just another quick question, and then I'm gonna kick it over to Terry. So since we're still in a new year, well, I still consider it a new year, it'll be the new year till March. What is one thing that you're really looking forward to accomplishing or doing in 2021 that you can speak about?
Well, one thing I'm looking forward to accomplishing is actually going back to WWE and possibly getting in the performance center and having those trainers see me and work with me like they did before, and them make some sort of long-term commitment. I've been paying dues for a long time, and I'll continue to pay those dues as long as the opportunity presents itself. But one of the things I'm looking forward to this year is actually getting another shot with WWE or AEW, whatever big company, but mainly WWE, because that's my home. That's where I started. That's where I want to go.
Yeah.
Nobody picks up a basketball to say I want to go play in China. Nobody picks up a South America. Nobody picks up a football to say I want to go play in Canada. You know what I'm saying? You want to go to the NBA. You pick up a ball, you go to the NBA.
You didn't have to play them other companies like that.
I'm not down it.
He put straight to the top.
He said y'all broke over there. I'm gonna go to the top.
Opportunities everywhere. There's opportunities everywhere. Shout out to all the other companies. But we all know what the league is. The brand. Because when somebody who doesn't know wrestling at all, we talk about people who don't know wrestling at all.
They always refer to WWF.
Talk about wrestling, who do they mention first?
WWF or WWE.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's why I say that, with no disrespect to the other companies. That's what I aim for. But I would definitely be open to going to Japan. I would definitely be open to working with AEW. I would definitely be open to working with Impact. Ring of Honor. Whoever wants to cut a check, I'm down. I'm down.
Money's green everywhere.
Right.
Green everywhere. Yes.
All right. Thank you so much for talking to us, Ace. And I'm gonna shoot it back over to Terry.
Ooh, back to Terry. Ace, let's talk about some new stuff.
Okay.
What a segue. This past Saturday, I was watching.
That's why I did that.
Thank you, Nicole. This past Saturday, I was watching Few Survive. Saw some things happen. You now part of the new nation. What's going on, bro?
The new nation, yes. You know, this right here, I believe, is something that can shake up the wrestling world. Being that you're taking two forces and you're putting them together and you're telling them to go out there and hunt. Go out there and knock everybody's head off.
Mm-hmm.
And we stand up for something that's bigger than us. You know, JB, me and him had a really deep conversation, and he was telling me, he said, yo, I don't think anybody has anything like y'all in wrestling. And I started watching AEW Dark and, you know, all this. So I'm like, if you turn on the TV, you won't see anything like that. It's very unique. And I think it'll work. You know, Vince is Prince of Bala.
I was about to say who?
You talk about guys 6'4", 250 pounds. Me, I'm 6'3", 245 pounds, and we're both very athletic, and we're both very powerful and strong. And I think if you put us together, there's nobody that could beat us. There's nobody that could beat us. If this was real fighting, half of these guys would be dead.
Whoa, wait a minute. Wait a minute, Ace. Wait a minute, Ace. Wait a minute. Let's not go.
The violence. The violence.
I say that because the new nation, we came for two things. We came for blood and gold. We're tired of being overlooked. You understand?
So let me
when I step in the ring and whoever's in the ring with me and they're standing across from Prince of Bala and they're looking into my eyes and they're like, yo, it's gonna be a long day. I'm gonna throw somebody around that ring and make them feel it. That's what the new nation is about. Blood and gold.
Let me
They woke up and chose violence.
Listen, right.
let me tell you, let me put y'all over right quick. So Jinx was at the show this past Saturday. And I don't know when it was over, but all I know is she sent me a text. And she was like, I've never seen Jinx as excited about describing wrestlers to me as she was with this text message. She was like, can you talk? I was like, wow, what's up? She was like, no, they got something down here that is going to blow up. These two big, like she was like, hey, what they doing? Yes, we need to get them on the show. We need to talk about it. I was like, who you talking about? She was like, the new nation. Ace and Prince. Oh my! I mean, what I just saw in there.
Prince of Bala. Wait, what is your new nation name? Amin
Mugabe.
Oh,
Amin
Mugabe.
I can tell you the history of that name.
Go ahead. Give us some history.
Amin Mugabe is royalty, but the name comes from a political leader of Africa, Idi Amin, and a heavyweight champion boxer from Nigeria named John Mugabe.
Yeah. Oh snap! Okay.
Yeah. That's where that name came from. It's very strong.
Two powerful forces.
Two powerful forces together. You know, here to shake up the wrestling world. That's what we're looking to do.
If y'all are not watching Few Survive on Saturdays at 6 p.m., go back and watch the episode that just aired. You'll see the debut. you know they must have some matches coming in the next few weeks, so you got to follow along with that. Ace, let me ask you this before I ask Nicole and Jinx if they have any last questions.
Mm-hmm.
So there's an event coming up. Say it loud.
Say it loud.
All black everything.
Everything.
Yes, sir.
I saw posters, and I saw the New Nation on the poster. We haven't got no matches announced yet, but can you tell me how it feels to be on this card for the Say It Loud event?
Oh man, it's beautiful because it's a celebration of black excellence, of black wrestlers. You know, nobody really puts us out there on the marquee like that in this particular business. You know, so to be able to get all of this talent together on one card and to be able to present something that's very unique to the world and let them know, like, yo, we have athletes out there, and that we're great at this as well. I think this is very special. It's for the culture and for the business, and I feel very honored and privileged to be on that card with all of those excellent black athletes and entertainers.
I'm just happy to see the card and more events like this are happening.
Mm-hmm.
Can't wait to see what you guys have done or doing whenever they announce the matches. I just know they're on the show. Say it loud. February 12th and 13th, Jacksonville, Florida, Doubletree, Jacksonville, Riverfront. Go on Eventbrite or the Feud, FightingEvolutionWrestling.com, and look up the information for it. Hey. Nicole, Jinx, any final things for Mr. Mayhem?
I just want to ask one thing, and it's something I think I've asked here in the past few of our spotlights.
Mm-hmm.
How is it being a black, before last person was a female, black male in the industry? And how would you sum it up real quick on your thoughts and feelings?
You know, being a black male in this industry, it's the gift and the curse. And it's the gift because we're naturally great athletes. And then whatever you give to us, we will make it work, and we will make it great, and we will shine. You understand? And black people, we have a presence. Everywhere we go, people look at us and they know that we have something special to offer to the world. It's a curse because this business was not made for us, by us. You know, it's not run by us, the corporate part. And we're not marketed. Even though, you know, there have been a lot of black wrestlers who've broken through and have made great names for themselves and make a lot of money, this is still not our business. And we're still continuing to blaze our own trail and pave a way for future generations to come in and dominate the business. And I think that you know, being a black male in this, you know, in this business it is the gift and the curse, but mainly the gift, because we do have so much to offer, and we are different, and we're very, very athletic and unique, and I think that anytime that we can come on TV and present our gift to the world, people will be drawn to it, people will love it, and people will buy into it. We just have to market it more. We have to be shown on that stage. You understand?
Definitely makes sense. You got anything else? I appreciate you, Ace. Always great talking to you, like always.
Thank you.
I see you around the street in Miami. You got anything to close out, Nicole?
Just one quick question. So if you can have anybody do your New Nation theme song, who would it be?
Ooh. if I could have anybody do my New Nation theme song, I actually this is a song. This is a song that I hear that kind of sparks that inspiration for me, and it would probably be Saha the Prince. Saha the Prince is a very, very, very good rapper. He's a dope hip hop artist out of Atlanta, sounding good music. There's a song on his album titled No Dope on Sundays called New Africa. Listen to that song.
Okay. Okay, we'll get. I'll listen to after we're done over here.
Yeah.
All right, Terry.
He going to get the song.
It's on the play.
You couldn't play it out loud though.
It's definitely a song that
I'm scared because you know how they be. They gonna stop this stuff.
You're right. You're right.
Tell the motherland that a nigga coming back for her New Africa. Imagine if all the
Ooh,
rappers
Hey,
that little snippet. Okay.
Okay, I feel it. I feel it.
We'll take the snippet.
Don't block that sponsors. It was just one word.
There's just a couple of bars. But listen
You know,
you can get the edited version, but listen to it. It really makes you think. Like, it's one of them songs that make you feel proud to be black. You know, like we are great. We're great. You know,
that song's actually on my on a playlist I got called "Black is Black." So I know exactly what that song will do. Ace, I appreciate you giving us this time, man. You know,
for sure.
The way Jinx put you over and everything, I was like, we got to talk. Wait a minute.
Yeah.
I just thought about something.
Yeah.
Ace, aka Jack Covington.
The
third. I watched this show, one of my favorite shows. With the person that it'll lead into my next question. On HBO. Were you on Ballers, bro?
Yes, I was on Ballers.
Yeah.
Bro, tell me about Ballers, bro.
Yeah.
Did that dawn on you?
Yeah, I just thought about that. Like, wait a minute, bro. Like, it literally just hit my head. Like, wait a minute.
This is a funny story. Now, I was on season 2, episode 10. The title of that show is Game Day, and that was the one where Vernon just signed his contract with the Dallas Cowboys, and he had got his Achilles injury because he went paintballing with Reggie and hurt his Achilles, and well, actually, he hurt his Achilles after that. Yeah, that's a late episode. But anyways, he had just signed with the Dallas Cowboys. No, correction. He did hurt his Achilles before that. But he wanted to go out to Dallas to show the owner that he's dedicated, because the owner didn't really think that he was going to be as productive. So he ended up drafting another defensive end, a younger one in the first round. A guy that plays the same position as him. That's actually one of my guys, Marcus White. The funny thing about that episode is that I played the defensive line coach for the Dallas Cowboys, and I'm a diehard Giants fan. So when that came out, all of my friends roasted. They see me with this Dallas gear on, and they was just getting at me. They said, that's why you got your break on TV as a coach for the Cowboys. Now, I was actually on that show, I believe it was season 2, episode 2. I worked as a background actor when they were at the U.S. Open at this tennis banquet. I was one of the people that was in the VIP section where The Rock was there, and what's this guy's name? What's the other guy that was that was on that show? Why is his name slipping my mind? Oh my god. Anyways, so on set, the ADs, they treat the extras like crap. You know, they talk to them, however. And I remember this guy was really like showing me his crack. He was really being a real, idiot towards me. He was, talking to me like crap. When I ended up booking the speaking role for that episode, I came to set and I had my own trailer, beautiful trailer, had my name on the trailer and everything. And the producers was like, yo, yeah, we got to make sure this guy's taken care of. I want you to make sure he has everything that he needs. So they give you 2 like helpers, 2 people to go and get your food and all that. And the person that they appointed to me was the guy that was talking to me like crap when I was an extra.
Karma.
Yeah, at the beginning of the show. I was loving it. And I remember when I stepped on set, and he was like, yeah, this is our principal actor. Make sure you treat him right. And I gave him a look like, yeah, you remember me, right? Be careful who you talk to. Be careful who you talk to. His job was to hold an umbrella over my head so the sun won't beam down on my forehead and I won't start sweating, so they won't have to keep on doing makeup. So every time I felt him drifting away, I'd be like, yo, stand right here. I'm getting hot. And then I would say something like, oh, I'm thirsty. I need some water. And he would walk away. I'd be like, oh, but you can't leave me out here in the sun.
You petty.
How am I get the water? Figure it out. That was I had to have that fun. I had to have that fun. But that was cool. That was cool. Being on Ballers was it was a great feeling. I got a chance to meet The Rock the first time I was on there as an extra. The second time he wasn't there for the whole shoot because The Rock is never in one place for more than an hour. That man's schedule is bananas. He's all over the place. But it was such an honor and privilege because here I am on the same show as my favorite wrestler. And I was like, wow, that was an unbelievable experience. And, me being able to get the royalty checks every now and then when they come in is cool too. But yeah, that was unbelievable. That was an unbelievable experience. Yeah, I love it. I really wish they could have continued the series in Miami. And, because they ended up moving to LA. But hey, that's the acting business. But it definitely opened up some doors for me to do other things. So I'm thankful for that. Yeah.
Go watch Ballers season 2, episode 10, so he can get some more of them checks. You heard
Right.
me?
Over and over again.
So Ace, we're on our last spot here. This is what we call the put yourself over moment. This is where you let us know all your social media. If you have any type of stores that people can go through and support anything you have coming up, we just want you to put yourself over.
Yes. Make sure y'all follow me at Ace Mayhem on Instagram. And you could check out my store online at the official acemayhem.shop, or you can look up DAM brand, where I sell premium goods. This is a woman's tank top. Has that nice dry fit material, so for the ladies, they can look sexy and they can go work out and get hot and sweaty, but it keeps them dry. Then, of course, I have my ugly Christmas sweater t-shirt with my picture on it. Me. Ace Mayhem Nostalgia t-shirt, and the most comfortable socks you can ever put on your feet. Yes. And that is the AM brand logo. Go to the official acemayhem.shop or the ambrand.com. Check me out.
Go check them out. Support this man.
Yes,
we like what's going on here. Ace, I mean, we thank you for giving us this time. Like Jinx said, you know, we've been trying to chase you down, trying to get this on. So now we're going to chase down your tag partner.
I'm happy to be here. And anytime I want to do it again, just let me know. You know, I'm down. Like, this is awesome.
Well, since you said that, we might as well put it out there.
Okay.
Jinx will be there. Nicole will be there.
Okay.
I'll be there.
Okay.
You'll be there.
Yep.
The Prince will be there. February 12th, 13th in Jacksonville. We want a live sit down.
Oh, let's get it.
All right.
Let's do it. Let's
do your tag team partner. Let's put it in the works.
We're going to put it out there.
Sure. For sure.
So y'all going to see this. Y'all, for real, like if you don't watch Few Survive, go to YouTube, check it out. You can see their debut that just happened. And then February 12th and 13th, get down to Jacksonville. I mean, it's a long weekend. Come check them out live and in person. But like you just heard us talk to Ace. We said that weekend, full sit down, me, Nicole from Down for the Count, Jinx from the Pretty Hills, Ace, Prince. We love wrestling, New Nation, we all here.
Yes,
but
sir.
My closing that I always do, y'all know me. I'm Terry. And like I always say, if I love wrestling and you love wrestling, then we love wrestling. It's too sweet for the culture.
Hi to you.
Hey guys, how you doing? You should be here.
You should.
Shame on you, but have a nice day.